It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Here we are, the end of the elementary school season. We started with 40 schools. We're down to the final 4. The first of our 2 semifinal games. Let's meet today's semifinalists. Right now from Bond Mill Elementary, would you say hello, please, to Joshua Webb, Michael Stroud, and Braxton Harsley. And from Perrywood Elementary School, here they are, Jonathan Batts, Isosa Amafua, and Kamari Short. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds today, we will have the first of the 2 finalists for this year's championship round in this, our 29th season. Let's make sure everything's working properly before we start. Let's go to the red team. And Michael, would you try your buzzer? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Braxton, and to Joshua. And Isosa, would you try the green teams? Looking and sounding good. Good luck to you, to Kamari, and to Jonathan. I just have to say, very few schools make it to this point in the competition. You guys are the best. You are elite students. You are great ambassadors for your schools, and nobody really loses here. But we wish you luck. May the better team win. We go alphabetically, B before P. So Bond Mill, let's play the bowl. Michael, start us out.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, a group of Girl Scouts recently went to the White House with their science fair experiment. They invented a machine using Legos that turns the pages for people with arthritis. It works because this force is generated by 2 Lego wheels. Bond Mill.
Friction.
Yeah, the friction between the wheels. Let those patients turn those pages. Good job. Thank you, Braxton, for your assist. Go, Bond Mill.
Let's get physical. Let's get physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, if you go to New York from New Jersey, you go through a long tunnel called the Holland Tunnel. Partway over, there are big smokestacks coming out because if there is a traffic jam inside, what gas could build up, Bond Mill?
Carbon dioxide.
No, good try. Perrywood, what gas could build up with all of those stalled cars in that closed tunnel, and those smokestacks could then dissipate it out?
Nitrogen?
Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide. That's the deadly gas. All right, no points. Go back to red.
Okay, let's get another one.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, people who suffer from celiac disease have to avoid wheat because it contains what protein? Bond Mill.
Gluten?
Gluten, indeed. Yes, you need gluten-free foods. So many foods today advertise themselves as gluten-free. All right, good answer. Go red.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, all the continents except Australia had a wide variety of canid and felid species. In Australia, all they have is the dingo. That's a kind of dog. And they have absolutely no what's? Bond Mill.
Herbivores?
Not herbivores, no. Most continents except Australia have a wide variety of canid and felid species. They do have a dingo, a dog, in Australia, but they have no what?
Omnivores?
Felid means feline. There are no cats in Australia. Go red.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, if you eat one banana, you've eaten them all. Every banana on Earth is Cavendish, meaning they are all genetically Perrywood.
Engineered.
Again?
Engineered.
Engineered? No. Bond Mill. All bananas are genetically identical around the world. They're all known as Cavendish bananas. Since they're genetically identical, they're known as these.
Fruit?
Clones. Clones. Clones are identical. Try again, red.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, if lightning strikes a rock, it changes that rock into a fulgurite, which is a kind of this substance. Bond Mill.
Crystal? Mineral?
Not quite. No, not quite. Perrywood. Lightning striking a rock changes it into something called a fulgurite, which is made up of this kind of material, which looks and acts like a solid, but is organized like a liquid and can easily shatter.
Glass.
Glass, yeah, that's it. Okay, good comeback. Go green. My sister says, finally, we're on the board. All right, let's go.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for?
20.
20 points, all right. Teams, a cuttlefish is neither cuddly nor a fish. It is a cephalopod that belongs Perrywood.
That belongs to the mollusk family.
It does indeed for 20 points. Nicely done. Go green.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, two-part answer. Because bees are disappearing, someday we might not be able to eat cherries and cantaloupes, but we'll always have wheat and corn and barley because they are pollinated. Bond Mill. Yes, sir.
They're pollinated by themselves. And that means they can self-reproduce without bees.
We needed two, it's a two-part answer.
And they produce food.
Not quite, not quite.
What?
Perrywood, corn and wheat and barley, not pollinated by bees, they are pollinated how? Give me two ways.
Through butterflies and with wind.
You got one, you got one. Wind and self-pollination, but no points for either team. Nice try. Ooh, that was a quick first round. All right, let's check that score at this juncture. Right now it is Perrywood 85, Bond Mill 80. It's a tight one. We'll be back with round two in just a moment. Don't you go away.
Take a hike. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Because when you take us hiking,
or let us run outside,
acting silly,
getting dirty,
and helping in the garden,
you're not only making your day better,
you're making our lives healthier and happier.
Playing outside is not only fun,
it helps us feel our best inside and out.
So next time when Mom wants you to take a hike,
tell her to go to beoutthere.org to find fun ideas for helping kids enjoy the great outdoors.
Let's be honest, it's not bad for the parents either.
They're so cute at this age. Be out there!
Hi, my name's Aaliyah Griffith. Have you ever had trouble with your math homework? Well, I've got just the show for you. Tune in and call into the Count on Us homework hotline. Go one-on-one with math teachers who'll show you how to work out your problem. That's Count on Us, Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Count on Us, only on Telly Award-winning TV 96. And if you have Verizon, that's TV 38.
and welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. An important day today. 2 of our semifinalists who will go on to vie for the championship. No matter what happens today, we have something for each of our contestants. Based on their interests, we have books from the Audubon Society, field guides, reptiles, insects, birds, mammals, night sky, whatever it is they would like as our way of rewarding them for making it this far in our competition. And the eventual winners, they're taking home a plaque for their school and individual plaques for each of the players. So we have a lot at stake today. We are so proud of these teams. If you have not seen these young people before, let's introduce them to you now. They are just great, each and every one of them. Bond Mill, you've come so close to a championship. 29 years you've been waiting. And your sponsor, Miss Jacobs, I know she's anxious too. You're doing a nice job here, Mike. How'd you guys get ready for this?
Well, we definitely worked a lot. We would go to lunch, we'd study together there, we'd come in for recess, we'd study there, and just today, because the rest of our 5th grade was on a field trip, we studied for like 3 hours, and it's just a lot of practice we're going through. We're watching videos online and looking at books. You're
prepared. You have done your homework and then some, and that's why you've made it this far. And Bond Mill is in Laurel, Maryland, and your principal, Mr. Fitzgerald, is here today as well, and we'll bring him out with Miss Jacobs in a few moments. Mike, any alternates on your team?
Yeah, our friend Peyton.
He'll be out in just a few moments as well. And tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're a baseball player. You want to play professionally someday? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What team would you choose?
The Cubs. The Cubs. Chicago Cubs.
They've been starred for a World Series. You could do it, Mike. Yeah. You could get them a World Series title.
They're picked this year.
That's right, they are. What else do you do in your spare time when you're not playing ball?
Well, I like archery. I've got my own bow and arrow. We have a target in our yard.
That's great.
I also enjoy, at home, we do a lot of board games. Mm-hmm. I love just hanging around with my family.
I think that's great. Sounds like you got it all figured out, Mike. You're doing a great job here as a captain. And Braxton, good to have you back. You want to be an engineer someday?
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully mechanical engineering. I just want to do like something big, make something like revolutionary.
Yeah, kind of make your mark. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to put up something that they'll be remembered for. And if you're an engineer, you got a better chance of doing that. What do you do in your spare time?
I'm outside with my friends. We're actually doing this thing where we're like patrolling our neighborhood to like keep it safe. Because recently we had DARE at school, and it really influenced us. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a dangerous world, and you know anything we can do, and certainly the adults around you want you to be safe. So be careful when you do all that. Josh, good to have you here. You want to be an optometrist or an ophthalmologist?
Yes, I want to. Well, I guess make glasses. I want to figure out something that could help blind people, like so they can finally see, and something like that.
And I know they've come up with retinal implants that they have there's a lot of promise to give some vision back. That's one of the big challenges out there. That and getting people to be mobile again if they're paralyzed. So I appreciate you thinking about that. What do you do in your spare time, Josh?
I like to play video games. I like to read and watch TV and play outside.
It sounds like you're a normal guy doing all those things. Enjoy your youth. Good to have you back. Perrywood, good to have you guys here. I supposed to tell us about Perrywood. Where is it?
It's in Largo, up in Marble Road.
Yeah, and I know you have a community center attached to your school, and it's a really nice campus down there. Who's your principal?
Miss Poole.
Wonderful. And Miss Henson, your sponsor, she's down there nervously watching this game. She'll be back in just a few moments. You got 2 alternates, don't you? Who are they?
Anissa Shrestha and Jalen Betts.
Boy, they're important members of this team, and they'll both be up here with Miss Henson in a few moments. How'd you guys get ready?
We practice every Monday, and we just practice watching Science Bowls, pressing buzzers, getting ready.
Yeah, you did all the right things as well. And you know an awful lot about science, I said. So how do you come up with so much information?
I don't know.
You're just good, aren't you? You're just good. You study and you keep your ears open. Tell me what you want to do someday.
I want to be a programmer.
Programmer, all right. Well, I can see you doing that. You got a good head on your shoulders. And Jonathan, you like to play video games. And a belated happy birthday to you. You just turned 11 years old. Young guy yet. You're just starting out in life. Where are you going to end up, do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what none of us knows, you know, but you've got some ideas, and I know you're interested in video games. Do you want to do that professionally, perhaps?
Well, someday I might want to become a YouTuber.
Yeah, all right. Maybe when you get older, YouTube will be something historic. You know, the world is changing so fast out there. You play a nice game. Kamari, tell us about yourself. You have a fish at home, or fish, multiple, right?
Yes.
What kind of fish are they?
I really don't know. My mom got them and my stepdad, but they never told me what they were.
And you can't ask them because the fish can't talk, unlike the movies. And it's kind of like dogs sometimes, and you can't tell what breed they are. You know, what do you feed the fish?
Fish food.
Fish food, that makes sense. What do you want to do when you get older?
I want to be a vet.
Vet, that makes sense too. Good to have you back. Let's get back to our game. 80 Bond Mill, 85 Perrywood. Lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from the green team. Isosa, start us out.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, if you're a person who's always active, you're said not to let this green thing grow under Perrywood.
Grass.
Grass. Don't let the grass grow under your feet. That's right. Kamari knew that. Go green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. The big one in that category is a visual question. Gentlemen and lady, look at the monitor, please. This long coiled tube at the front of the butterfly has what same P initialed name as the trunk of an elephant? Perrywood.
Wait, no.
Which one to tell me?
Pachyderm?
No, that's a good try. Bond Mill, what P initial term describes that coiled tube coming out of the mouth of the butterfly, has the same name as we give to the trunk of an elephant? Any idea? That's a tough one. It's a proboscis, which is another name for a nose as well. Go green, you have a 10-point advantage. Isosa.
Dateline for 25. Dateline for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. Teams, the student who won this year's Google Science Fair invented a sensor that could be placed in the socks of people who suffer from this Bond Mill.
Arthritis?
Not arthritis, no. The sensor in the sock is for people who suffer from this personality-robbing disease. People who oftentimes wander away and don't know where they are. Now they can be monitored on a cell phone.
Autism?
No, Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease. Try again, green.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, right out of the news, it seems now that it's possible we could cure certain kinds of cancers by injecting them with this virus that at one time paralyzed people. Bond Mill. What you got?
Chemo?
Not chemo, no. What kind of disease that one time paralyzed people and put them into iron lungs back in the 1950s is now possibly going to cure some cancers?
Polio?
Polio, absolutely right. Who would have thought that? Good, go green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, just as sharks were tornadoized in that horror movie, now we are Bond Mill.
Zombies are turned to hurricanes?
Not hurricanes, no. Now, Perrywood, there is a new grade B horror movie coming out that is zombifying these largest North American rodents.
Possums?
Beavers, zombievers. Go green. I can't wait to see it. Go.
Potpourri for 20.
All right. I'm sorry, potpourri for 20, did you say? Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, they've recently discovered a frog whose skin can go from smooth to knobby. Because it can change, it's probably camouflage, we use what M initial term to describe that skin, that is the change that takes place when a gene changes inside of a person. What M initial term, Perrywood?
Mutation?
Yes, sir. Mutable skin is what they call it. Good, go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you eat red pasta, it's usually colored with tomatoes, Black pasta is squid ink. Green pasta comes from this pigment found in green plants. Bon Mill.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, that's it. Good, Mike, go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25 points, teams. There are nanoparticles of zinc oxide found in sunscreen that will absorb this. Perrywood.
UV light.
UV light, exactly right. Ultraviolet light. Thank you, Kamari. Go green.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points, teams. Cyanide is such an awful poison because it prevents oxygen from joining with what protein? Yes, Bon Mill.
Blood? Calcium?
Not quite. Nope. Perrywood. What protein in the blood that bonds with oxygen doesn't bond because of the presence of cyanide, if it's there? Correct answer is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Go again, green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, listen carefully. Heavy water is not ice. It is deuterium, which is a water molecule that has one extra of these Bon Mill.
Oxygen atoms?
Nope. It has one extra, deuterium does, one extra of these subatomic particles in the nucleus alongside the proton.
Neutron.
Neutron, that's it, good, go green.
Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25, big one in that category, teams in the movie Intergalactic. We saw Matthew McConaughey looking and traveling through a wormhole. A wormhole was predicted years ago by Albert Einstein with his theory of what? Perrywood.
Relativity.
That's it, good, go.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category is a visual question. Teams, look at the monitor. Teams, this is an aerial view of the Amazon jungle. Atop it are wispy clouds. Those clouds are produced because those green plants are releasing water in what T initial process? Perrywood.
Transportation.
Not quite. No, not quite. Bon Mill, can you tell me the name of the process, the water releasing process that those green plants affected to get those clouds to form? That's called transpiration. Transpiration. You came close. Go again, green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, England recently reburied King Richard III. He died 500 years ago. They found a skeleton. They knew it was him because he had scoliosis, which is a curvature of the what, Bon Mill?
The spine.
The spine. Braxton says it's the spine, and he's right. Go, Mike.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems, 15 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, if you've got odontalgia, O-D-O-N-T-A-L-G-I-A, do you have a stomach ache, an earache, or a toothache? Bon Mill.
A toothache?
A toothache is right. Yes, dont is a prefix for teeth. Go.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, at some of the warm springs in Florida, the sign says, "Do not pet these sea cows." Bon Mill.
Manatees?
Manatees is right. Good.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, the New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick, at the time of the Super Bowl, stood up and told us all about this that's found inside of a football. Perrywood.
Oxygen.
No, not oxygen. Bon Mill.
Air.
What about air?
Pressure.
Air pressure. Good. Go red.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, we all knew for a long time that there were 3 moons around this heavenly body. They discovered 2 new ones. One of them they were calling the Styx. Perrywood.
Asteroid.
Not an asteroid. This heavenly body had 3 moons. Now they've discovered 2 new ones, Bon Mill, one of which they've called Styx, which is the river of the underworld, which is perfect because the moon orbits what body?
A Venus.
Pluto, the god of the underworld. Go red.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Sociologists now tell us that the practice of shaking hands had an olfactory basis. It seems like people shook hands because they wanted to see how the other person, what, Bond Mill? Smelled, yeah. Whew, B.O. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams back in the 1960s, Frankie Avalon sang a love song to the goddess of love that has the same name of what? Perrywood.
Venus.
Venus, if you will. That's right. Good. Thanks, Jonathan. Go Green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, at this point on a Science Bowl game, sometimes players like you suffer an acute case of hyperhidrosis. Perrywood.
When you get nervous, like really nervous.
Nope. Bond Mill, hyperhidrosis, it means that you start to do this a lot. Sweat, that's it. Go. Red.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, the White House garden now has a gauge that will measure 3 kinds of precipitation. Can you give me 3 kinds of precipitation that we can measure with that gauge?
Precipitation.
Specifically.
Rain, snow, and sleet.
No, good try. Bond Mill, give me 3 forms of precipitation we can measure with that gauge.
Rain, snow, and freezing rain.
Hail. Oh, one last question, but we're not going to get to it. The buzzer says our game is over. It looks like Perrywood's going to the finals. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
I wanted to start a business that I was passionate about, something I absolutely enjoyed and believed in.
My name's Steve Allen, run RadCab in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Starting a business can be incredibly confusing.
SCORE really helped me steer the course. From business plan software to insurance. If you get a solid foundation laid, everything else falls in place. It really feels amazing to create jobs here in my city. I could not imagine doing anything else.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Welcome back. What a game, just as we anticipated, hard fought to the very end. As I said at the top of the show, nobody loses when they reach this stage of the game. All of these young people played so well. We're proud of them all. They are elite students. Let's give them a nice hand, everybody. Bond Mill, Perrywood. Our final tally, Bond Mill 160, Perrywood 205. That means Jonathan and Isosa and Kamara, you did it. You're going to the finals. We're going to see you against, we'll find out in just a few moments, Jalen and Anissa and Miss Henson, congratulations. And I have to say, not only are you good students academically, but you're great sports because you were encouraging Bond Mill throughout. I think you're terrific. Bond Mill, I think you guys are great. No long faces, no tears over here. You had a great season. Josh and Mike and Braxton and Peyton. Let me see a smile back there. You're a great guy. And Mr. Fitzgerald, their principal, has been here throughout and is here supporting that team today. And Miss Jacobs, this makes 29 years we've seen you here. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to get that championship. We love having you. We love having you. We'll see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.